Hello friends, today I want to start by asking a question. How many Ukrainians do you think it takes to change a light bulb? Well, based on what we see in this video, apparently you don't need any. But you need at least one drone. But seriously, the skill level of this drone operator is reaching new heights. Literally. And speaking of drones, the defenders have established constant patrols of American Hornet drones over the roads, in the rear of the horde, like in this case, where one of them quietly glides along looking for a suitable target. This time it was a Ural truck, and it got off easy because the drone exploded on a tree branch. This other truck wasn't so lucky, as it was completely destroyed on the road connecting Mariupol and Rostov-on-Don. I mean, we're talking about 150 kilometers behind Ivan's lines. These attacks are multiplying along all the roads that run through the area behind the front, between Taganrog, Mariupol, and Melitopol. With attacks happening so often, Ivan may soon need to invest in nets to protect hundreds of kilometers of road if he wants to keep getting supplies. The same is happening on roads near Donetsk, where those responsible for spreading joy to invaders are at work. They are the operators of the Black Sky Battalion from the Spartan National Guard Brigade, who are intensively using drones with terminal control systems guided by artificial intelligence. But the Hornets are not the only ones who are managing to de-Putinize the invaders, because the Bulava loitering munitions, which are the Ukrainian clones of the Lancet, are becoming increasingly common on the battlefield, very effectively, as shown by the vehicle in front of this Orc motorcyclist. In the ground war, on May 22, the 1st Independent Medical Battalion reported that while working in support of the 425th Separate Assault Brigade Scylla, they received a request to evacuate a soldier who had been wounded during the assault on Ivan's positions near the zero line, where the soldier was in a very exposed position under enemy fire and partially surrounded. Due to the high risk of attacks from mines, drones, and artillery fire, the command decided to evacuate the wounded soldier with an unmanned MAL-type vehicle, which had a special armored capsule to protect the wounded. The vehicle traveled 36.5 kilometers on a mission that lasted 2 hours and 13 minutes. The average speed was 15 kilometers per hour, and the maximum speed reached was 70 kilometers per hour. The robot arrived, loaded the injured person into the armored capsule, and began the return trip without major incidents. However, on the way back it stepped on 2 anti-personnel mines, but the armored capsule protected the soldier from the shrapnel, preventing further injuries. The vehicle completed its mission, delivering the injured person to the medical station for treatment. The injured person likely didn't enjoy it, but it's still better than not getting care while hiding in a trench or basement on the front line. This is further evidence that the new doctrine of the defenders is to always send robots first on the most dangerous missions, in order to preserve the valuable lives of Ukraine's experienced and hard-to-replace soldiers. While the Orcs let their wounded turn into organic fertilizer, the Ukrainians are literally sending Terminators to save them. Stopped. In the air war, Ivan's Shaheds are encountering increasingly dense swarms of interceptors every day, which go out to meet them as soon as they enter Ukrainian territory, to the point that it's no longer unusual for one of them to record the work of one of their own of some kind. On one hand, it shows how the defenders can send more than one wasp to shoot down each raider to ensure a high destruction rate. This is feasible because the leftover interceptors, it's not unusual to record the type. It's not unusual to record work of some kind. But it's also a sign that at the same time interceptors sent by allied countries are arriving. So many vultures from the horde are falling from the sky that a Ukrainian farmer from the Cherkasy region finds, to his surprise, that one is resting in his barley field. A Shahed 136, which is emitting rather alarming beeps, preventing him from treating his crop. At least he had the foresight to call the bomb squad. At ground level, air defense teams armed with machine guns and rifles also do their part, as in this case, where they managed to neutralize a Shahed flying at very low altitude, almost at point-blank range. It's getting harder for invaders to get their vultures to their destination, as they're hunted by man-portable missiles, fighters, and helicopters. I think the only job worse than being a Shahed in Ukraine is being an assault orc. And speaking of that, straight from the fields of Donetsk, where the Z-Horde continues to carry out adventure sports excursions for their assault orcs. The 414th Unmanned Systems Brigade, the famous Magyar's birds, once again present us with a compilation of their exploits, where they've shown once again that precision can be both surgical and highly personalized for each invader. Operating under the banner of the birds, these Ukrainian operators document the despotinization of 40 invaders who have been directly added to the list of demobilized from the special military operation. The processes they share with us in a single sequence, which proves that even in the 136th Adventure Excursions, Mexico City carried out an assault. The assault excursions were carried out. The brigade organizes adventure sports for its orcs in the city when they visit Ukraine, and the Welcome Committee checks their immigration papers. Russian assault squads keep arriving one after another with eternal optimism as they continue to believe that the sheer mass of attackers will eventually break the defenders' resistance, which the new recruits of the Horde practically no longer have the chance to see, since the only ones who come out to meet them are ground drones and warrior mosquitoes from the steppes. While the invaders keep applying a strategy as subtle as a death metal band, Ukrainian drone teams let them come right into their hands with all the patience of a methodical host, who will give them the fate they deserve for crossing the border uninvited. Their work speaks for itself with decisive results. But not everything must end badly for the Russians. Like in this case at the beginning of May, where operators from the 34th Marine Infantry Brigade managed to get 4 Russian soldiers from the 98th Guards Airborne Division to surrender near the Antonovsky Bridge on the Kherson front. The group of invaders, apparently, was a reconnaissance group that got isolated, so the Ukrainians sent a drone equipped with a loudspeaker to broadcast instructions for them to surrender, promising that their lives would be spared and that they would be given vodka and a Big Mac from McDonald's. Apparently, this offer was good enough because the tourists decided it was better to lay down their arms and then go to the meeting point, where they were captured and taken to the other side of the river. To keep their part of the deal, the defenders served them a McDonald's combo during the interrogation, which made them openly criticize their commanders for the poor planning of the operations and the lack of proper equipment. The Russian forces in the area include the 376th, 31st, and 217th Regiments of the 98th Guards Airborne Division, and they have already been making repeated assault attempts and landing operations on the islands in the left bank of the river. The Ukrainian Marines of the 34th Brigade have been countering these operations with attack drones, precision artillery, and combat patrols. I think we've found the recipe to stop the Russian offensives. Just offer the orcs a bottle of vodka and a triple Big Mac so they'll surrender in droves. If you want to see additional content about the war in Ukraine, I invite you to visit our 2 new channels, where we present information about the war in a different format. Don't forget to check them out. Remember to visit our Patreon, where for just $1, you'll have access to a large number of uncensored videos and documentaries. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel.